Hey, it's the Empire, Geoboxing Empire, Backstone Boxing. Nah, man, my boy Blue Blood Sports TV, man, he talks about Tim Bradley saying that he wants Tyson Fury in the body bag, man. I'll link in the description so you guys can watch the video yourself. But Tim Bradley, man, he's been talking real big and bold, man. You know, we should call him, his nickname is Desert Storm Bradley, former WBO welterweight champion. But man, we should call him Tim Malcolm X Bradley. I mean, he's been talking real extremist lately, real pro-black, really, really strange stuff from Tim Bradley, man. That all being said, man, understand that when Tim Bradley, he is a commentator and a host on ESPN, him along with Andre Ward, he commentates the fights on there. And this is a really big deal because ESPN and Top Rank, they work together on to do fights, right? ESPN signed my boy Tyson Fury to like $100 million deal, like a 4 or 5 fight deal, right? So that being said, understand that when the commentators speak out against Tyson Fury, it's not just the commentators. This reflects ESPN itself. So ESPN has their back turned on Tyson Fury after pitting, over $100 million in him for a multi-fight deal. So that being said, man, a lot of people are changing their picks now. It was really strange how this whole Deontay Wilder situation and Tyson Fury situation, everyone was really quiet about it, or they had a lot of things to say about Deontay Wilder when he made the claims that his suit was heavy. A lot of people were coming out about that. But when people came out about Tyson Fury and his gloves looking funny, crickets, nothing said. But as the fight gets closer and closer, man, it seems like the ESPN is going the LDBC route, man. They're going to the popular talking points of that Tyson Fury, not only is he going to get stopped, but the guy was a cheater and he was never that good in the first place. To say that Tyson Fury is going to be in a body bag is basically to say that, hey, man, this guy is not all that good, and whatever happens to him. Because understand, boxing is a dangerous sport, deadly sport. A lot of people can die from boxing ordinarily, like just because you get beat up. To not only to have a blunt object in your hand, but to do it in multiple fights. In the Tyson Fury fight, you can see in the first and second fight how Tyson Fury's gloves clearly manipulated. You can see a left glove flopping around, and you can see Tyson Fury's hand inside his right glove, right? There's pictures around everywhere. You can just go on Google and Google Tyson Fury glove gate or fishy looking gloves, whatever, and then it pop up, right? So that being said, man, ESPN going hard on Tyson Fury, and it's just wild because understand, like I said earlier, that they promote the guy. They gave hundreds of $millions for the guy. So this is a really big deal, man. We're gonna see how this whole thing plays out. There's only a few days left, and this is just finally ends the long legacy between these fighters. Because my God, man, it took so long for these 3 fights to happen, and it's mentally draining. Fights keep getting postponed, right? I mean, it's just wild stuff, right? But yeah, it's just, when the pandemic happened, there was nothing else to talk about. No other sports were happening, so everyone couldn't see. They didn't see what they saw when Tyson Fury's glove gate came out, where his gloves were looking fishy, right? So yeah, man, we're gonna see what happens with ESPN and Tyson Fury, but this isn't looking good for Tyson Fury and his team. Tyson Fury has been coming out lately saying that, yeah, I cheated and I'm gonna do it again. It's wild stuff from Tyson Fury, man. He's just coming out bold with it. And as Tyson Fury, if you guys watch, there's a lot of go on PBC, Premier Boxing Championship. There's so much promotion about it, and Deontay Wilder actually came out and said that we know that Tyson Fury cheated. He's just a cheater, and it's gonna be, without his cheating, he can't beat me. And he said that anyone with eyes could see that he cheated, and it can be proven in court. So understand, I'm most likely gonna make a whole other video about this, but Tyson Fury is most likely gonna be sued after Deontay Wilder stops him, because he's still adamant about Tyson Fury cheating, and he's saying it during promotions. Tyson Fury even speaks of it, right? That being said, we know what's gonna happen after this fight, and he gets his retribution. That lawsuit is right around the corner. It's right around the corner. I wouldn't see why Deontay Wilder wouldn't want to sue Tyson Fury after everything he put him through. It definitely damaged his career. It made him look bad, and there's too much evidence to say otherwise that Tyson Fury didn't only cheat, but he damaged Deontay Wilder by having a dent in his head, right? Something that a boxing glove couldn't do. Something that Deontay Wilder, the hardest punching boxer in boxing history, didn't do. There's never been a fight where Deontay Wilder hit a guy so hard he dented his head. And Deontay Wilder is the hardest puncher in boxing today, right? Anthony Joshua didn't even dent someone's head. Mike Tyson never hit someone hard he dented someone's head. I mean, I can go on and on down a list about all-time great power punchers who hit someone so hard they dented their face. That never happened. But Tyson Fury, all of a sudden, you know, he doesn't have a high knockout ratio. He's never known for his power. All of a sudden, he's hitting guys so hard he's denting their head. I don't think so, man. It's just way too fishy. And not only that, it's just injuries that can't be done with a glove. These are injuries that a glove and a hand inside of a glove cannot do. So, you know, that being said, Tyson Fury has an extremely low knockout ratio. Understand that TKOs are not knockouts. And, you know, if you actually look, it would say that Tyson Fury has 31 wins and 21 by knockout. But if you go to Wikipedia, it says that. But if you actually look really hard, it actually shows how many knockouts Tyson Fury really has. And it's extremely low because there's TKOs and then there's knockouts, right? TKOs is when the ref stops the fight and because of punch accumulation. And then there's a knockout where the guy's actually out cold, right? Now, that being said, Tyson Fury has actually a knockout ratio. He doesn't have that many knockouts. He just doesn't have that many knockouts, right? KOs, he only has a handful of those, less than 5. Right, most of his knockouts are TKOs. All you gotta do is look at his record, go to BoxRec, and it's just a whole bunch of TKOs, right? A whole bunch of TKOs. Technical knockouts. That means people are stopping the fight, the ref, right? So yeah, man. That being said, I'm actually looking at it right now. He has 3 knockouts total out of all of his fights, right? And the rest are technical knockouts. That means his ref stopping the fight. That means he's beating a guy up and the guy's taking punishment and they're stopping the fight because the guy's really not in the fight and he's just taking punishment and he's not really responding to anything. So yeah, man, this idea that Tyson Fury has the power to dent a guy's head, you get to hit a guy with extreme force. It's not something you punch with accumulation to get that kind of damage. This is like a blunt force object type hit. So yeah, man, we're gonna see how this whole thing plays out with Tim Bradley, though. I'm sort of like Tim Bradley like this, but you know, the guy's a company man. You know, he will say whatever ESPN wants him to say, and ESPN is having nothing but bad things to say about Tyson Fury because he's not speaking to him with flying regards. They invested over $100 million in him in a long fight deal, and well, the commentators are trashing the guy. So we already know ESPN stands, man, and it's looking worse and worse for Tyson Fury as the fight progresses, man. Anyway, let me know how you guys feel about it, though. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the Empire. Boxing Empire. Peace.